Denver 7 has learned the remains of two people have been pulled from the rubble of this house explosion in Firestone.
What happened in Firestone a few years ago was a tragedy Colorado never wants to relive. A deadly home explosion caused by an old leaky gas line left uncapped. Last year, Colorado passed new laws for the oil and gas industry. Before companies can drill new wells, they need to give the state money up front to cover more of the costs of capping and cleaning up old oil and gas wells that aren't producing anymore.
It's supposed to put aside enough money for well plugging so that the taxpayers don't have to bear the brunt of it.
Heidi Leithwood is a climate policy analyst for 350 Colorado, a grassroots group organizing to solve the climate crisis. She says the rules known as financial assurance are a step in the right direction to protect our health, safety, and Colorado's natural beauty.
All of those uncapped wells are contributing to that ozone problem that we have with the smog and the toxic pollutants that affect communities.
Colorado's top agency in charge of regulating the oil and gas industry, the Energy and Carbon Management Commission, or ECMC, says the rules are the strongest in the nation. But some Coloradans worry the money collected from companies falls short of what we need.
It costs a lot less for them to just let the wells sit there producing nothing at the end of its life instead of plugging them.
Right now, there are more than 1,500 well locations considered orphaned by operators who walked away from their responsibilities to plug and reclaim their wells. On federal and tribal land in the state, there's another 125 orphaned well sites.
The industry is constantly plugging and reclaiming, retiring their low producing and inactive wells. Thousands and thousands of wells are being reclaimed annually so that Colorado and state taxpayers will never be left with that responsibility.
Kate Schwartz directs Colorado's chapter of the American Petroleum Institute, a trade association representing the oil and natural gas industry. She says companies are mostly on board with the rules so far.
The rules are incredibly onerous and they're difficult and they're in their infancy, so operators are still going through the process of financial hearings.
Those hearings with the state will determine how much companies need to pay up. The ECMC estimates well plugging costs an average of $92,000. Right now, Colorado collects less than 1% of that in financial assurance. Still,
Colorado is certainly a leader in shifting its approach to oil and gas companies.
Alan Zibel researches energy and the environment for Public Citizen, a nonprofit consumer advocacy organization. He wrote a new report looking at how much abandoned wells could cost taxpayers on federal land.
Regulators need to be as alert as possible to the risk that some of these companies do play to taxpayers.
Just like Colorado is collecting more money from oil and gas companies to cover future cleanup, the federal government is looking to do the same.
The Biden administration has proposed a new rule that would require higher levels of bonding.
He says the new federal rule will protect taxpayers. As Colorado leads the way and the federal government takes new steps, Coloradans like Heidi hope financial assurance rules will hold companies accountable.
We should be able to recover the money from anyone who's ever owned the wells so they can't just offload their wells and put us at risk.
Reporting from Denver, I'm Angelica Albaladejo for Denver 7.